And hello yet again. What you're looking at here is a Philips 23-inch black and white TV from around 1962 or 63 vintage. This set was basically cloned from a European Dutch design. I have been on the internet and I have seen very close copies or versions of this model. I think it's Marcel's TV Museum, I think, is the place to go and visit, and it's where I discovered, hey, now I know where New Zealand basically got its ideas from in regards to building this particular model of TV. So yeah, it was quite fascinating to find this out. I've also seen another video on YouTube with a set that looks very much like this, but again of early vintage, and I think it may have been a 425 set. I'm not too certain now. It was a wee while ago, but no, it's just really interesting to actually see what Philips in New Zealand actually basically copied or based their early TVs on. This isn't the earliest Philips TV made in New Zealand. There are earlier models, which unfortunately I do not have in my collection. I have never physically seen in the flesh. So in regards to early black and white TVs, this would have to be one of the earliest ones that I own. I actually have 3 of these, so they still seem to be fairly common, and there's still 1 or 2 actually around that are still working that I know of. So in regards to making them last and making them fairly reliable, well, they're definitely good in that respect. And a lot of old TV techs I've spoken to always have held these early Philips in a very high regard. They're probably one of the best performing sets of the time. Yeah, so just a quick peek around the side of it. Here's basically the front view you can see there. I actually like the design. It's very retro, very cool. Some also did come with a proper actual TV stand with a magazine rack, which I have got actually, because I've got one of my other Philips sets of this model. I have actually got with a stand. The actual model number is called S8. It's called the S8 chassis, and it's live. It's also live as well, so you've got to be careful when you're working on it. Make sure you've got an isolating transformer between you and the mains. Transformerless, so you've got great big series drop-in resistors on the top of the chassis, which love to give off plenty of heat and keep the room warm as well. So, but yeah, well, you'll get to that when I move on to showing you the chassis and basically what the insides are like. Both of us, so I'll show you the front of it for now. And yeah, so front view. Of course, it's an early CRT, so you've got the safety glass, so it's not bonded, it's non-bonded CRT, so it's got the implosion safety glass in front. So we go down here and have a look at the front of this. We've got all our controls down here. As you can see, it's been a wee bit knocked around, and obviously someone's picked the labels off at some point, but you've got little thumb wheels under there for adjusting brightness and contrast. And moving along, you've got a series of really nice clicky buttons that really let you know that they're being pushed, especially the power one. It's got a really nice snappy sound to it. So you've got on, off, mute, filters must alter the video response a bit, basically just make the picture a bit more softer. And hi-fi just gives the basically like a treble boost, and speech as well. I think it's just like a treble cut or something, or a bass cut or something like that. And then across here we've got volume and tone, basically. The later model of the S8 actually came. This was a later model. The later model with the bonded deflection tube had little wee round knobs which stuck out the front, and did away with all this down the bottom. I think those buttons were still there, but they had little wee round controls that stuck out the front, basically little controls. And yeah, I've got one actually for spare parts in the garage, and all those controls have been smashed off. And you know, I kind of actually think that's actually probably a better design actually than having the thing under there, because you know, the kids can't go up and twiddle with them and cause all sorts of havoc. Right, let's pull it out a little bit. And there's the side. And you got your channel change there. With your fine tuning in the centre, of course. And there's your speaker there. Now the speaker on this is really quite wacky. The actual magnet is on the inside. The actual magnet is on the actual inside of the speaker, and I'll show you. They did this to stop the magnet interfering with the picture geometry. So check this out. Typical Philips, they always seem to be slightly ahead of their time. There's little pins that just come off. There's actually one pin missing. But check that out. The actual magnet is on the... So that's the actual magnet there. It's the magnet right there. Pretty far out design, eh? It's sort of it's the only TV, the only TVs I've seen with these speakers in them. So yeah, quite ingenious. Of course, these sets have the good old transformerless high impedance output. That speaker is around 800 ohms. So the voice call is directly coupled to the output valve, just basically via a coupling capacitor, and the sound quality from these things is absolutely brilliant. So you've got no output transformer. I'll actually deal with that later. Actually, I'll try and put that back on now. Yeah, so the reason why I decided to get this going, and amongst all the other projects that I've got on at the moment, is the fact that I needed something down here for the workshop, because I mean I've got no physical working TV in the workshop, and considering I've got a few of these and I've got plenty of spare parts etc., I decided, what the hey, you know, I might as well make the use of one and use this one, considering it was only a very recent purchase, and plus where it was going to be in the way. It was going to be on the floor, right in the way of one of my display areas. So I thought, oh bugger it, I might as well what's that other pin? I'll look for it later. Oh, there we go. There it is. There. Sorry, I know I'm probably blabbing a wee bit. I'll try not to blab. That's better. Okay. Oh, there's a quick shot of the back, by the way, and we'll get to that very, very shortly. Yeah. So. Alright, we'll just. So what I might do, I might just spin this around and show you the insides of it.